Hi, welcome to Physics with Ben. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video to those that need it. If you are just watching this video for the first time, I ask you to trace back and watch video on Crash Course 01 and Crash Course 02. Video on Introduction to Cambridge IGCSE Physics 0625. And video on how to interpret the codes. These two videos are very important. If you watch them, then you can come right back to this video. Yeah, we have 3 seasons in the Cambridge IGCSE. We have the spring, we have the summer, and then we have the winter. This is 2024. The exams you guys will be writing in the nearest future right now is the winter exam, which is coming up in the month of October/November 2024. So while preparing for the exam in the particular year, it is expedient you prepare with the past papers in that season. So I want to advise that if you are an IGCSE student or an IGCSE teacher, the materials you are supposed to select for your students is the winter material. That is any material you see carrying October, November. And then you can shift 5 years backward. I explained that in the previous videos I did. So what am I trying to say? Focus on materials that has to do with winter. If you are offering the core syllabus in your school, that is the syllabus that has to do with paper 1, paper 3, and paper 6 or 5, you also study the winter materials. And then for those doing the extended, you also do the same thing I just told you. So this is a video to prepare us ruggedly for these exams, 2024 winter October November series. So in addition, I have also included in this video resource materials. That is, I have uploaded in the description box past papers on winter, especially the extended. The video you are watching is paper 2 variant 1, and so I am going to work on paper 2 variant 1 in this video, and the next video you will see is paper 4 variant 1. The next video will be paper 6 variant 1. But in the description, I'm going to upload all the other variants and other years for you to solve. So this video, I just want to teach you how to solve these questions and how to go about them. And then I will explain why some answers are given. And then I will also leave you to solve some questions for yourself. So without wasting more time, let us go straight to the business of the day. This is how your exam will look like on the D-Day. This is a live question paper. You can get these materials on the internet and other resource centers. So this is how your paper will look like. But what will happen is that you're going to see here, what you will see here will be 2024, not 2023. Good. Now, it is important that you follow examination instructions. It is very, very important that you follow examination instruction. So you read through the instruction. You must answer the multiple choice answer sheet. You will need multiple choice answer sheets, soft clean eraser, soft pencil type B or HB is recommended. So don't go and start using a different pencil. So use what they have given you here. So these are the instructions you have to follow. Please always read through examinations instruction before you proceed. The last one is take the weight of 1.0 kilogram to be 9.8 Newton. Acceleration of free fall 9.8 meter per second. Yes, some constants are not here. So you may be given some questions to solve down there that will require some constants that are not here. So we are set for the paper. But don't forget that this exam, this particular paper, the total mark is 40 marks, and the formula is 40 divided by 40 times 30%. So if you get it right, you're gonna bag 30% in this paper. Good. Next up, we want to start the business of the day. Question number 1. Which is a vector quantity? Vector quantities are quantities that have magnitude and also a specified direction. They are quantities with magnitude and also specified direction, while scalars have only magnitude but no direction. So density, mass, pressure are scalar quantities. So the vector quantity here, which is a weight, the option is D. Let's proceed. Question number 2. The graph shows the speed of a car traveling through a town. Which section of the graph represents a period when the car is decelerating? Good. This is our speed time graph, and option A, B, C are not there. So the correct option is option D. Option D represents deceleration. Let's proceed. Question number 3. An object reaches terminal velocity after being dropped and falling through air. Which graph shows how its speed varies with time? Terminal velocity. I think the option here is option C. Option C is the correct option. Don't forget that I have videos on some of these topics that may seem to be difficult for you to understand here. You can click in the description box to find some of these videos relating to some of these topics here. Let's proceed. Question number 3. Question number 3 reads, the table shows the mass and volume of 3 different liquids, X, Y, and Z. The liquid are placed in the same container. The liquid do not mix. Which liquid is at the top of the container and which liquid is at the bottom? Very simple. What you need to do here is you have to find the density of all the liquid. So the equation for density is density is equals to mass all over volume. So what you got to do here is the density of liquid X. The density of liquid X is given to be the mass of liquid X divided by the volume of liquid X. That is 120 divided by 100 and you are going to have if you do that correctly, 0.6 gram per cm cube gram per cm cube. So likewise, the density of liquid Y will be given as 80 divided by 67. You do that correctly, you're going to have a 1.19 gram per cm cube. Last but not the least, if you look at the density of of liquid Z, you are going to have 100 divided by 120. If you do that correctly, you are going to have 0.83 gram per cm cube. Now you compare your answers. We have liquid X to have this, liquid Y to have this, liquid X to have this. Now the liquid that is denser will be at the bottom, and the liquid that is less dense will be at the top. So which answer here represent the liquid with the greatest density? That is liquid Y. Liquid Y will be at the bottom. Liquid Y will be at the bottom, and liquid what? Liquid X will be at the top. So let's see the options. So the option, we have X at the top and Y at the bottom. So A is the option. Question number 5. Which moving object has a resultant force acting on it? A driver rising vertically through water at constant speed. I don't think that is the option. He's rising up against gravity. An aircraft circling an airport at constant speed. At constant speed. Yes, this is the option. An aircraft circling an airport at constant speed has a resultant centripetal force acting toward the center. So the correct option here is option B. So let's proceed. 6. Forces. Forces are applied to 4 identical objects. The length of each arrow indicates the magnitude of the force which object is in equilibrium. Yep, the object is the same. The mass of the object and the size of the object A, B, C, D are the same. So without wasting much time, the correct option here is option B. 7. A sphere X collides head-on with a second identical sphere Y, which is stationary. The mass of each sphere is 0.15 kilogram. Sphere X is traveling at a velocity of 2.0 meter per second before the collision and produces an impulse of 0.21 Newton second on sphere Y. What is the velocity of sphere X after collision? Now this is a topic under linear momentum. To solve it, this is very simple. Sphere X, sphere Y. This guy is moving, and the speed u, both of them 1.15 kilogram. 1.15 kilogram. This is not moving, so initial velocity here is 0. The initial velocity here is given to be what? Is given to be 2 meters per second. So since this collision, since body A is stationary, and I can tell you this is an inelastic collision. In inelastic collision, when the two bodies are done colliding or after their collision, they move in one common direction with a composite or common velocity. So what will happen here is that our equation for the momentum will look like this. Mass of body X, initial velocity of body X, plus mass of body Y, initial velocity of body Y, is equals to mass of body X plus mass of Y into V. The V is the common velocity they are going to move with. Now, this is body Y. Body Y, U is 0, so this is cancelled out. So you're going to make V, which is your common velocity, the subject of the formula, and then you substitute in the variables. If you do that correctly, you're going to have this. So we're going to have the common or the composite velocity to be equals to mx ux divided by mx plus mu. You do that correctly, we are going to have mx times that is 0.15 times 2. 0.15 times 2, that will give us 0.3. Also, 0.15 plus 0.15, that will give us 0.3. So this go, and then at the end of the day, we have our V to be approximately, to be 1.0 meters per second, and this we have to move in the direction of body Y. Body Y was stationary, so body X will definitely push body Y to come this way. So the movement will be in the direction of body Y. So let's check our options. We have A, 0.60 meters per second, opposite direction Y, no. 0.61 meters per second in the same direction as Y. Option B is a correct option. Option B is a correct option. So what happened here is that sometimes your calculations with this guy's calculations may not be exactly the same. So don't be confused. So the correct option is approximately 1 meters per second. Let's proceed. Question number 8. A cyclist traveled down a hill from rest at point X without pedaling. The cyclist applies his brakes and the cycle stops at point Y. Which energy transfers have taken place between X and Y? Okay, let's look at it. Remember, when the cyclist applied brakes at Y, friction was generated, and friction results to what? Unwanted heat. Option B. So at X, there is height. There is height above the ground. There is height above the ground. And at X, that is gravitational potential. As the body descends down, it transcends to kinetic energy. Potential energy is the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its height above the ground. Kinetic energy is the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its motion. So the correct option here is option A. We have gravitational potential, kinetic, then internal thermal energy or heat energy. Let's proceed. Question number 9. An object of mass m falls from a higher shelf to a lower shelf, as you can see here. How much gravitational potential energy does the object lose? Good. What we got to do here is simply write down the equation for change in gravitational potential energy. You know that gravitational potential energy is given to be that is GP is given to be mgh. So the change in the gravitational potential energy here will be the mass will be constant, G will be constant, and then we'll have H1 minus mg H2. So m is common, so you factor it out. So this is the same thing as mg is common, so you factor it out. So you have mg into H1 minus H2. So this is the energy. This is the loss in energy. So if you look at the options, we have D. D is a correct option. So let's proceed. Question number 10. A pump does 460,000 joules of work to raise water to fill a tank. It takes 7 minutes to fill the tank. What is the power of the pump? The right equation here is power is given to be work done all over time. Work done all over time. Don't forget that this work done is the work done against gravity. And the next thing to do is to plug in the variable. So we'll have now 7 minutes will be converted to seconds. Always convert to standard units. And that will be 7 times 60. If you work that out, you're going to have your correct answer will be 109.52 watts. And that answer is equivalent. That answer is equivalent to option A. Option A is the correct option. So let's proceed. 11. The water in the swimming pool exerts pressure at the bottom of the pool. Which graph shows the relationship between the pressure exerted by the water and the depth of the water in the pool? Good. Now, for you to understand this question, you have to apply the equation for pressure in a pool. This equation is given to be the pressure P is equals to the density of the liquid times gravity times height. In this case, the height is also like the depth. Now, there are two sort that are constant here. The density of a particular liquid is constant, and G is also constant. So H and the depth or height and the pressure shares a direct relationship. That is where H is the independent variable and the pressure is the dependent variable. What this means is that increase in the height or the depth will increase the pressure at the bottom. So you're gonna have an increase graph, and graph A and B are not the graph. So the correct graph here is graph C. So this is the correct option. This is an increase or a decrease graph. If you have been following my videos on how I plot graph on physics channel with Ben, you understand the language I'm using right now. Question number 12. Why can a gas be compressed easily into a smaller volume? The particles are far apart, and that is the option. We have no time to waste here. Let's proceed. Question number 13. A gas is contained in a cylinder by a movable piston. As you can see in the diagram, the gas is heated so that it expands at constant pressure. How is the force of each collision of a gas particle with the piston affected, and how does the frequency of collision between the gas particles and the piston change? This is question number 13, and this is the explanation I have for this. Since the pressure is constant, increase in heat energy will increase the average internal kinetic energy of the gas molecules. This, this will shorten the distance of separation between the gas molecules. And then when the distance of separation is shortened, the force the rate of force that will be exerted on each of the particles will increase. This will result in a decrease in the frequency. And so, as you can see, option A is our correct option. 14. On a warm day, a carton of fresh milk is covered with a wet cloth. Why does this help to reduce the temperature of the milk? 14. Look through the option. You can see that option A is the correct option. Question number 15. A chef heats some water in a pan on a hot plate. The temperature of the water rises by 10 degrees Celsius in time t. She then puts the same volume of oil in an identical pan on the same hot plate. The specific heat capacity of water is 2.5 times that of oil, and water is 1.1 times denser than oil. What is the time for the temperature of the oil to rise by 10 degrees Celsius? Good. At the beginning of the class, I told us that I'll be leaving us with some questions to go home and solve. So this question is one of the questions I would like us to solve. If you are watching, please help me solve this question and drop your answer, type your answer in the comment box. So what I do with my students is that I'm not too happy what I'm doing right now, but this is an online class, so I have no option but to be the one. This is teacher-centered. In the class, my students solve, and when they cannot solve it, that is when I come in. So help me solve this question as your assignment. Let's proceed. Question number 16. The diagram shows the view of a room heated by a radiator. The arrowed line from X to Y is the path of the convection current in the air. Which row about the air temperature and the air density at X and Y is correct? Option B is the correct option. Let's proceed. 17. Two men, P and Q, stand close to a gap in the wall, as shown. Man P cannot see man Q, but man P can hear man Q speaking. Which statement explains this? As a physics student, seeing this will tell you about diffraction of sound waves. So we got no time to waste here. Let's look at where we can find diffraction. Good. Our correct option is option D. Let's proceed. 18. Which quantities relating to a wave on the surface of water can both be measured in meters? Amplitude in meters, frequency in hertz. B. Amplitude in meters and wavelength in meters. Let's go with option B. We don't have time to waste it. So option B is the correct option. Amplitude is in meters and wavelength is also in meters. 19. The diagram shows parts of a ray diagram that demonstrates the formation of a visual image Y of object X by a converging lens or by convex lens. One ray of light from X is shown approaching the lens. Which arrow shows the direction of this ray as it relates the lens? Okay, what we have here is from the topic optics, and for a quick one, permit me to say that the complete diagram right here you have, let me say we have 2f, then we have 2f prime. Somewhere here we say we have f prime, and somewhere here we say we have f. Now, the condition for a ray diagram to produce a visual image. A visual image is that image that cannot be seen or caught on the screen, while a ray image is that image that can be seen or caught on the screen. So for the condition for this to happen is when the object is placed. Now in the center is the center of curvature C. The condition for this to happen is when the object is placed between F and C. And when this happens, the full drawing is that this ray will pass here, and then the other ray will pass here. And then if you trace these rays backward, they form a visual image behind the object. Ray images are formed on the other side of the lens. Now let's see what the option is. So option A is the correct option. 20. A ray of light is reflected by a plane mirror. Which arrow shows the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection? Very simple. This is coming from the laws of reflection. The angle of incidence is the Q and the angle of reflection is the R. Now, both of them must take reference from the normal. This dotted line is called the normal to the normal, which is always perpendicular to the surface of the mirror. So P is not the option and S is not the option. So Q, R are the angles of incidence and reflection. We go with option C. 21. A thin converging lens is used to produce a ray image on an object. Which statement about the ray image is always correct? Remember what I told us in question number 19, that ray images are formed on the other side of the lens, while visual images are formed behind the objects on the same side of the lens. So let's see. 21 is B. We got no time to waste. 22. A radio station broadcasts at a frequency of 200 kilohertz. What is the wavelength? Now, the equation is simple. We have V is equals to the frequency of the wave times the wavelength of the wave. Now, radio wave is an electromagnetic wave that travels at the speed of light. The information about the speed of light is not given here. So you can see that I told you from the beginning that some constants were not given. So we're going to change this equation that C is equals to F times lambda. And you know that the C is the constant for the frequency of the speed of light. That is 3.0 times 10 to the power 8 meters per second. And so you make lambda the solid formula, and then your lambda, which is the wavelength, is equal to the speed of light over the frequency. You evaluate correctly, you divide the speed of light by the frequency, and you will have 1,500 meters. 1,500 meters. And in decimal form, this option is the correct option. Let's proceed. 23. The element mercury exists as a solid, a liquid, or a gas. Which row gives a possible set of values of the speed of sound through mercury? Option 23. Without wasting more time, the option is simply D. D is the option. You can go on the internet and do some research. Let's proceed. 24. Which metal could be used for a permanent magnet and which metal could be used for the core of an electromagnet? A is not the option, iron and copper. B is not the option. C is not the option. And option D is the correct option. 25. Which statement describes the direction of an electric field at a point in space? 25. A is not the option. B is not the option. The direction of the force on a positive charge. C is the correct option. Let's proceed. 26. Which statement about a voltmeter is correct? A voltmeter is an instrument used in measuring the potential difference in the circuit. It is always connected across the resistor, not in series with the resistor. It is connected in a parallel circuit, not in a series circuit. So 26, it measures potential difference. It's the only thing true about the voltmeter. So C is the correct option. Let's proceed. 27. A wire has a resistance of 8.0 ohm. A second wire of the same material has twice the length and twice the cross-sectional area. What is the resistance of the second wire? This question is coming from the topic resistivity. So the right thing to do is the equation for resistivity, the resistance of the wire is equal to the resistivity of the wire times the length of the wire divided by the cross-sectional area of the wire. So we have two equations here. So the first one, the resistance of the wire is given. So we write that 8.0 ohm is equal to the resistivity of the wire divided by the cross-sectional area of the wire. Secondly, we have the second one, Rx is not given. So it is equal to the resistivity of the wire 2L of the wire divided by 2A of the wire. Help me call this equation 1 and help me call this equation 2. So we are going to equate equation 1 with equation 2. And if you do that correctly, we are going to have something like this. 8 ohm is equal to Rx is equal to rho L over A and is equal to rho 2L over 2A. You know that this 2 will cancel this 2 and rho will cancel rho here, L will cancel L on the other side and A will cancel A on the other side. At the end of the day, Rx is the same thing with R with the first resistance. So the correct option here is option B. 28. A plastic rod is rubbed with a cloth. The rod becomes positively charged because of the movement of charged particles. Which row gives the name of these charged particles and the direction in which they move? This is coming from the topic static electricity. The option is option B. The charges are called electrons. The electrons are what move, and it is from the rod to the cloth. Question number 29. An alternating current AC supply is connected to a diode and a resistor in series. Now, These topics, you have to study them before you understand them. If you don't understand this, you can put your textbook beside you to understand some of these things. What is a diode? A diode in the circuit makes the current to flow in one direction. Now you know that alternating currents have no polarity. They can make the current to go left or go right. But the diode in this circuit makes the alternating current to behave like the direct current. And so the correct option here is option C. 30. The diagram shows a circuit used to switch on a heater when the temperature drops below a certain value. This is a circuit. Which row shows the components that should be connected at X and Y? At X and Y. It also calls your attention that you need to study about electrical symbols and their functions in circuits. So 30, the option is B. This is a standard resistor and this is a variable resistor. 31. A current in the solenoid produces a uniform magnetic field inside the solenoid. The magnetic field direction is due east. Which changes will produce a stronger magnetic field with a direction due east? 31. The option is D. Use a large current and reverse the current direction. 32. A metal rod PQ rests on two horizontal metal wires that are attached to a battery. The rod lies between the poles of a magnet, north and south, as you can see. When the switch is closed, the rod moves to the right. What would be changed so that the rod moves to the left? This topic is very, very simple. Now, do you know that you can actually repeat this experiment by replacing the rod with a magnetic compass needle? I did this with my student and the result was wonderful. Now, what happens here is that the south pole represents the negative terminal in electric field, and the north pole represents the positive terminal in electric field. So the only thing that you got to do in question number 32 is to reverse the battery terminals and exchange the poles of the magnets. This is what you got to do. So option B is the correct option. 33. A transformer in a computer is used to transform the mains voltage of 240 volts to 12 volts. The number of turns on the secondary coil is 2000. Now, this tells you that this transformer is a step-down transformer. There are two types of transformer. We have the step-up and the step-down transformer. A transformer is simply an electronic device that is used to step up or to step down voltage. Now, the equation is given to be Vs, that is voltage in the secondary coil, divided by voltage in the primary coil, is equal to number of turns in the secondary coil divided by number of turns in the primary coil. So you're going to make number of turns in the primary coil the subject formula. So NP will be equals to 2000 times 240. 2000 times 240 divided by 12. If you do that correctly, you are going to have 40,000 tons. So the correct option is option B. Now, in a step-down transformer, the number of turns is greater on the primary coil and the voltage is greater on the primary coil. Thank you. Question 34. In alpha particle scattering, alpha particles are incident on a thin metal foil. Which rule describes results from the experiment and a conclusion that the result leads to? The option is A. You can find a video series on these topics on my YouTube channel under Radioactivity. You can find those videos and they will be helpful to you. 35. Alpha particles, beta particles, and gamma rays are emitted by radioactive nuclei when they decay, which emission can be deflected by electric field. Now, it will interest you to know that alpha particles, beta particles are reflected in both magnetic field and electric field. I want to believe you are quite familiar with this particular diagram here, where you have a radioactive substance somewhere here, and then the photographic plates. It is under this is south and this is north of the magnets, and the gamma is straight up. The alpha particle will bend this way, the gamma will bend down. Good. Then the other one for the electric field, you have the negative electric field, the plus electric field. In both field, gamma rays will go straight. This is gamma, and the other guy will go up there. That is the alpha particle, and then which is the other one will go down this way, which is the beta particle, telling you that the alpha particle have positive charges and the beta particles have a negative charge. So both alpha and the beta particles will be deflected in both electric and magnetic field, but the gamma rays are neutral, they have no charge, so they are not deflected in both magnetic and electric field. So the correct option for question 35 is option B. Let's proceed. 36. I have a lot of videos on question number 36. Radioisotope X decays to be stable isotope Y. The graph shows how the mass of Y present in a sample varies with time. In order not to waste time, question 36, the correct option is C. You can watch this video on my channel to understand this topic proper. And so the next one is a 37. Which particle is absorbed by a nucleus to cause nuclear fission? 37, the option is nothing but A neutron. 38. Now, permit me to say something here. 38, 39, and 40, they are from the space physics. Yes, I told us that a new aspect of physics has been added. So this is 2023 exam. Space physics was introduced in 2023. Question 38 down to question 40 is from space physics. Now, in the description box of this video that you are watching, I have dropped down the study resource material that include space physics topic. Kindly click in the description and download this material and study so that you don't blame yourself on the day of examination. So 38. It is summer in the northern hemisphere of the earth in June. Which statement explains why? A is not the option, B is not the option, C is not the option, D is the option. The north pole of the axis of the Earth's rotation is tilted toward the sun in June. So geography students, I hope this is not difficult for you. You are the guys that will enjoy space physics the more. So you combine your knowledge in geography and then also in physics, and then you have a mastery knowledge in space physics. And this space physics at the A level is what we call astrophysics. So you're going to see aspect of astrophysics in this space physics as well. 39. Which statement about the sun is correct? A is not the option, B is not the option, and C is the option. The sun is a medium-sized star consisting mostly of hydrogen and helium. Last but not the least, question number 40. The table lists some information about some stars. Which star will eventually explode as a supernova? This is space physics. I love this scheme. I love this syllabus. So let's look at the options correctly. Option A is not the option. Option B is the option. Option B is the option. So to this, we have come to the end of this session. You will click in the description and you will see past questions on IGCSE 0625 winter 2023 on question paper 2, question paper 2, paper 4, paper 6 on all the variants. Study them and then you will come out with flying colors. Also, click in the description on this video that you are watching and you will find study resource materials that include space physics. The recent updated syllabus, there is a book for it, and I have dropped that book for us in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you, and God bless you. Bye-bye.